Hey everyone, my name is Todd Bigelow. For the past 30 years, I've been a freelance photographer based primarily out of Los Angeles, an adjunct professor of photography and photojournalism, and a soon-to-be author on a book on freelance business practices. This is 2 Minutes with Todd, where I break down business topics that freelancers face on a near daily basis. Let's get into it. Okay, so today I want to talk about one type of image license that you can write when somebody requests usage of your work. It's called a rights managed license. Here's how I want you to think of that. A rights managed license is just like ordering food at a restaurant. So if you go to a restaurant and you sit down and you order an appetizer and an entree and a dessert and a cup of coffee, when your bill comes, when the fee is presented to you, that fee is going to reflect exactly what you ordered. They're not going to charge you for anything that you didn't order, and they're not going to give you usage of their food or their restaurant in any other way beyond which you've specifically ordered and purchased. That's rights managed licensing. For photography, that means if somebody comes to me and asks me to use an image, which is very common, very vague term, and we'd like to use this image, do we have permission? Well, I need information before I know what fee I can charge you. So, everything is dependent on how you're going to use it. That's rights managed. So let's say it's a textbook company. I've licensed to textbook companies many times. And if they want to use an image, I'm going to ask particular questions such as, who is a publisher if it's not the publisher reaching out? Oftentimes it's a researcher, a freelance researcher. Who is a publisher? Who is the author? What is the title of the textbook? What edition is that textbook? How is the image going to be used? Is it going to be used on a PDF, in an ebook, a printed book? Is there a teacher edition of it? So I'm going to make sure that I get as much information about that particular use of that book. Then where is the image going to be placed? Is it going to be on a cover, which is a higher fee? Is it going to be on a chapter opener, which is not as high a fee as a cover, but higher than just a normal use on the interior? So the location of the photograph is important. The size of the photograph, is it a quarter page, half page, full page, 2-page? So the larger the photograph, the more, the bigger that it's used, obviously the fee will go up with that as well. I'm going to get that information and I'm going to plug it into the software. I use PhotoQuote like many in my industry and the profession do. It's the industry standard and it's going to kick out a fee. Now that fee is very important, right? There's basically two parts to a license, the fee and the terms. They're contingent upon one another. I need those terms so that it will give me a fee estimate, and I can adjust that however I want. If I have a unique image, I'm going to bump that price up. Okay, but the terms are very, very important because it's going to control the work. What they request is what they get. If they request something vague, I'm going to make them be specific. Once it's specific, they can't use that image beyond that which is specified in the license. So going back to the textbook analogy, if they want to use the image in an edition, in the future, they're going to have to come back to me and request another license. If the same author writes another textbook along the same topic lines, but it's a whole different textbook, the publisher does not have the rights to the image. They need to come back to me and request additional usage. And that's happened many times. So if you manage the rights to your work properly, not only will you develop some fees, you'll develop hopefully some recurring fees. I get many emails from professors, from colleagues that ask for advice on a fee. And that's important. You want to quote a good fee. But you definitely need to make sure that the terms are very, very specified. So the terms are as important as the fees. And the terms will determine the fees just like when you go in and order at a restaurant. So keep that in mind as you license. Be specific. It's called a rights managed license. And it will help you control your work and develop licensing revenue that we all need to run our freelance business.